Well, Lovey, first of all, a big news a couple of weeks ago. MLB decides to recognize the Negro Leagues. The records, all of that stuff is going to stand. This is going to make a big change in the way records are kept in Major League Baseball, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And, everybody is happy about this, but it's going to be a challenge. It's always been a challenge in the first place to really quantify Negro League statistics because, they're somewhat spotty. They didn't get the coverage that Major League Baseball did. I'll give you an example. Josh Gibson on his Hall of Fame plaque, it says he hit over 800 home runs. Well, that wasn't against Negro League competition. That was against all kinds of competition. Barnstorming teams, local teams that they played. As far as Negro League numbers against Negro League teams, Josh Gibson hit about 242 home runs. That's what's been pretty much quantified because they only played about a Negro League team might play 250 games a year or 200 games a year, but only about 70 or 80 of them would be against other Negro League teams. And then the rest, they would travel around the country and raise money by playing other teams. So it's still a challenge, but there are a lot of devoted volunteers to basically quantify these Negro League numbers, and they've come a long way in doing that.
They bucked it up to the Elias Sports Bureau, I noticed. Major League Baseball is essentially saying, help us figure this out.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but there have been good people that have devoted a lot of their time to recognizing the Negro Leagues over the years. And this is a great step in the right direction. 50 years almost since they finally started inducting Negro League players in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Now, Baltimore certainly has a big footprint in the Negro Leagues, not one but two teams, the Black Sox and the Eli Giants. Baltimore wasn't a major league city at the time, and this is what we had here in terms of top-flight baseball, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. The Eli Giants had some great teams. They won a few American Negro League championships, and the Eli Giants, they won a couple of Negro National League championships, and some of the greatest players who have ever played the game came through those teams. Judd Wilson, Frank Warfield with the Black Sox, and people who recognize these names, Roy Campanella and Junior Gilliam with the Eli Giants, and Baltimore's own Leon Day, who has been recognized in the city of Baltimore, also plays. So yeah, this was quality major league talent that people got a chance to see.
As I told you before we started this, I went out last week to the site of Westport Stadium and Bugle Field, the two Negro League ballparks in Baltimore. At Bugle Field, for example, there's a car wash across the street, and my photographer was shooting some video, and one of the guys from the car wash said, well, what are you doing? I said, do you know what happened across the street there? No. And I said, that was Bugle Field. He said, they had no idea. Neither one of these spots has a marker, nothing at all. Are you surprised by that?
Well, I'm disappointed, but not surprised. Again, recognition in the Negro Leagues has come through people who made it their passion to get the recognition. I know there are Negro League historians that make an effort to get gravestones for markers for deceased Negro League players who were buried without a gravestone. That they make that their life's work. So I know how if this is going to be done, it's only going to be done through volunteer work. Leon Day got in the Hall of Fame in part because the efforts of volunteers who pleaded his case to the people making the decision at Cooperstown. So it doesn't surprise me, but I think it's a missing ingredient in the history of baseball in Baltimore. It should be rectified.
Do you think, good, I'm glad you said it should be rectified because that was my next question. Do you think it would be proper for the city or some volunteers or someone to put a marker at those two sites?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the many things that COVID robbed us of last year was considered the 100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues. The real, legitimate, official Negro National League started in 1920. And so there was going to be a lot of ceremony, a lot of events around the 100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues that didn't happen because everything got hold because of COVID. It'd be nice if they just decided, well, let's celebrate the 101st anniversary of Negro League baseball. And in doing that in Baltimore, a great way to do that would be to place markers in a ceremony, publicized ceremony at those two ballparks.
But then again,
it's old ballparks.
But then again, you can't be surprised that there's nothing there.
No, because again, this is not Major League Baseball. It's no one getting paid to do any of this stuff. This is all people who not only felt the passion of the talent of what these players had, but how they carved out their own niche in a game that told them, no, we don't want you. And they turned around and said, okay, you don't want us? We'll create our own game. And in some places like Chicago and others, Washington in particular, that game became more popular than the Major League game. One of the many reasons that in the 40s in particular, it took so long for baseball to give up on its color line, banning, basically keeping black players out of baseball, was because Major League owners were making a lot of money renting their ballparks to the Negro Leagues so they could play their games. Like I know at Griffith Stadium, the owner of the Senators, Clark Griffith, used to rent his stadium to the Homestead Grays, and they drew better than the Washington Senators.
Wow. You have a sense of humor, so I'm going to bounce this off you and see what you think. The site of Westport Stadium is now a flea market. What do you think about that?
And you know what? Somebody there probably sells Negro League baseball cards as souvenirs. Not even knowing what happened on the site that they're selling them at.
It's kind of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a shame, but if this would be the year to do it. I mean, coming out of COVID, trying to, get things back to normal. And let's face it, over the last 18 months, we've had a lot of wake-up calls about the issues of race in our country and how we've fallen short on a lot of them. One small little piece of that is Negro League baseball. So a step in the right direction would be recognizing the historical importance of those sites.
Levy, you're a good man. I appreciate your time, my friend. Enjoy Florida, will you? Because it's real cold here tonight.
Anytime, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay.